Me as a producer, I wanted to introduce my view or my take on what Afrobeats with the S would sound like if they made me the general secretary.
Yeah, Charlie. I'll be in charge of Afrobeats.
Yes. This is how it's gonna go.
Welcome back to another episode of Afro Soul Stories. This week we are joined by my very good friend. He is a producer, he is a rapper, he is a singer, and dare I say it, an icon of Ghanaian music. Ladies and gentlemen, my very good friend, Mensa. Hey. How are you, man?
Good, man. I like that. It's quite succinct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tight and straight to the point. I know this afternoon we have a lot to talk about, so yes. I don't want to faff around.
Yeah. That's the problem with talking with old friends. Isn't it?
You know, we can go. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming down today.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm glad we can make this happen.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. Now, I'd like to kind of do things chronologically because we have an audience that may not know your music and that may not know you, and I think it's a great opportunity for them to get to know you.
Yes.
Now, you come from a musical family.
Yes.
Talk to me about
at least so.
early days and
Yeah. My dad's family likes to take all the credit for all the musicality that runs through the
genes.
Yeah. But actually, my mother's father was an avid pianist, and my uncles, my mother's siblings, are actually quite musical. Like
as well.
My mom's sister is like a singer vocalist who wrote her own music, and my mom's half brother is and it's Honey, who, you know, Honey and the Bees. I don't know if you know that band. I mean, they're like a psychedelic band in the 60s,
Very
70s,
cool.
you know. And this guy was like a sort of bit of a prodigy, like a genius keyboardist who like would play with his feet and stuff. But
and these guys were all based in Ghana?
Yeah. Based in Ghana, yeah. I mean, they would travel around the continent and I think did some stuff in Europe as well.
Very cool.
So there's that, you know. And then there's my dad, who's also a musician, and his father was also like had like an orchestra, and he was a photographer. So I mean, my dad's family had like more disciplines of like in arts, like photography, filmmaking, music, all these sort of things, architecture and things like that. So yeah, I mean that's a good thing, and I always say it's a good thing is a bad thing because anything that you do, they're like, yeah, okay, you got the genes, but what are you doing with it?
Right.
And it's like you're not surprising anybody. And it's like how, you know, what is the quality of what you're doing?
Yeah.
That's what they care more about. I mean, my dad's younger brother's Kofi Ansah, rest in peace, who was like he was like one of us, you know what I mean? And he was like an incredible designer.
Yeah.
And even within like my generation, my siblings are way more creative than I am. I always say I have the biggest ego, so I'm the one who made a career out of it. But you know, my siblings are like, they've got an eye and an ear, and most of the things that I know is literally because of them. And they constantly put me onto new things and like ways of like, you know, from manga, anime to me in bands, like, you know, introducing me to different music and
where are you? Are you youngest, middle, oldest?
So I'm in the lower third. Lower third. Yeah. So I only have two younger siblings.
Okay.
One of them absolutely despises me and the other adores me.
Okay.
And then it can interchange.
Okay.
But
they swap around sometimes.
Do you swear on your thing?
Oh yeah, Charlie.
Yeah. I love them both, but fuck them both. No. We have a very tight family unit actually.
Yeah, of course,
bunch of half siblings. There's 7 of us.
Charlie, African family.
Yeah. But we're very close.
Yeah, of course.
Not due to any of our parents' efforts.
Yes.
We just found each other and we're like, we like each other as siblings, you know?
Course,
And then we clash and, you know, I have a younger brother who's like super cool and he puts me on things, you know? And a younger sister as well.
Yeah.
And she's annoying, but she's my younger sister.
Yeah,
so,
it's love.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
And then I have one older sister who's like, she's infallible in the eyes of all the siblings.
Oh, of course, she's the good one.
Yeah. She can do no wrong.
Charlie, my sister just got her PhD.
Yeah.
She'd be doctor.
Yeah, making us all look bad.
You know what I mean? Making us all look bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then they're all very creative in their own way. And I sort of just feed off of their inspirations and their findings.
But that's awesome growing up in that household. I mean, obviously, you know, your music, but having visual elements as well and just general creativity.
Yes.
It's a great spark for
them. Yeah. And very little resistance. Actually, the only resistance would be if you're going to do it, you need to do it properly.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the pressure.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, you need to be a lawyer, you know, to secure yourself and blah, blah. Like, there's none of that.
Yeah.
You know, my mom was like, look, if you're going to do this, educate yourself on it.
Yeah.
So that you can sort of evolve with what you do with the times.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite progressive for like, you know, Ghanaian mom.
Yeah. You know, they say in African families you can be a lawyer, a doctor, or a failure.
Yeah.
So,
or how failure be an architect.
Yeah.
Or a quantity surveyor.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? A quantity surveyor.
Now, what do they do?
They survey the quantity.
They survey the quantity. Now, okay, so let's talk about musical beginnings, because I know that you are a very good pianist and a very good producer, but a lot of people don't know that. So yeah, let's talk about instruments and getting into production. And,
once again, my mom plays a very big role in all of that. So growing up in Ghana, I had some friends who were really sort of like, I'd say like, sort of middle class, you know, family that I spent a lot of time with when we were in Ghana, and they sort of introduced me to. They didn't introduce me, but they sort of, for the things that my parents were lacking, because my dad wasn't really around. My dad was still in the UK or in America or whatnot. Yeah. So the things that I felt like my dad could have done, they sort of brought that, you know, that family sort of brought that to me. So I was playing the piano in their house all the time and sort of vicariously taking piano lessons, just sitting next to one of my friend while he was having his piano lessons and just like, And then when he finishes, I try my hands on it and I would get it. And then eventually, and they had like a grand piano at home, you know, and they would go to like piano recitals and stuff and I'd just tag along, you know, and then the dad would be like, yeah, sure, man, so go play a piece, you know, like this is the sort of encouragement that I would get. And then my mom discovered that I was playing the piano in their house, so she's like, okay, let's get you a piano.
That's fantastic.
But if you're going to learn hymnals.
Oh, church music.
Yeah, church music, you know. At first there was a sort of resistance, but it's helped me along the way, you know, like in terms of like chord progressions, understanding chords and harmonizing and things like that. That's really like the biggest thing for me. Because I started playing classical piano and then I went into and I was playing actually piano at church. Yeah. So I was like the young church pianist. I was only about 12, 13. You know?
Yeah, but it's a great learning ground.
It really is,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I would still really, I would get so nervous. I still do, you know, and just like I would freeze. I used to freeze all the time at church, you know, because my mind never stays with me, you know?
So that's the creative...
you know, like I'll be playing and then I'll be thinking about something else and I'll come back to it, like, where are you in this piece? And like, or like, how can I play this thing differently from the way I've been playing it all this while? And then I stopped playing the piano for a long time. Okay. Because I discovered rap music.
There you go. Now, was this was the spark of something good?
Yes, absolutely. You know? Yeah. For a lot of us, rap music was our education, you know, before YouTube. Yeah, you know, absolutely. All sort of like politics, race politics, states of affairs, social commentary, social studies, history, all these things. I got all of that from rap music, from hip-hop and rap, you know, and I kudos to my cousins, Kwesi, and my older brothers who just like, oh, you like this stuff? Cool.
Here you go. Take more.
Take, you know? And I was just like consuming it and absorbing. And then, you know, I sort of started writing to the stuff that I was playing.
Right.
You know? And then I got a chance to enter a studio, David Bolton's studio, and Reggie Rockstone. And and by the time I was 18, I left Ghana on tour with Reggie, and everything was just like, this is like the fast forwarded version of the story.
Now, from what I know of your time, you were very integral in the production of Reggie's first album.
Not his first album, his third album.
Okay, but that was the big one, wasn't it?
Yes. It was like his grand offering, I suppose.
And you were very young at that point.
I was what, barely 15, 16. And it was such a great opportunity, and kudos to Reggie for just believing in me and not treating me like some youth. He would really give me a lot of space. And then he would guide me. He has such an ear,
Yeah, Reggie's amazing.
He has such an ear, and showed me how to party as well.
Jelly. Let's not talk about cognac.
Yes. It was all very new to me, but I had a band, Lifeline Family. We came out with that song with CCL. I don't know if you know it, but I think the listeners might know it. And then Reggie sort of discovered us and took a keen interest in me and what I was doing, because actually we found out much later on that Reggie's dad and my dad were very good friends.
Right.
And my eldest brother grew up with Reggie in London, and everything sort of connected. So Reggie really, really took care of me.
Nice. Yeah.
And really encouraged me to be more sort of confident in what I was doing. But when it came to like producing, I was doing a lot of that stuff from just listening, observing, and then like chopping up breaks and stuff like that. So if I were to just jump like chronologically to like what I'm doing now, I've sort of stepped back from that, just like listening and making music intuitively, but coming from a place of like learning from the masters and having like a real understanding of what musicians do.
Yeah, of course.
Like live musicians do. Like what are the live drummers doing? How are they working together with bassists? And what, like I can think of chords and a bass line that could work together, but
finding that pocket.
Yeah, finding that pocket, and why you wouldn't play these chords to what, even though it works to what, what the bassist is playing. Like just little like just finicky things that kind of secures you as like, because I feel like I should always be learning,
Yeah, of course,
and
so
some of that
constant.
learning is also unlearning like some of the things that I thought was cool to do, and just because I was sort of mimicking a lot of like the things that the US producers were doing, but it's just like I'm learning quite a lot of that, and, going back to the roots.
Now, this is something interesting. Now, obviously, you grew up in Ghana. With big American influence from hip hop and everything. And, like so many people have done. But all of the music that I know that you've written is very proudly African.
Yes.
And obviously in recent years, we know that Afrobeat and African music is now, very, very popular.
Yeah.
And your production style has always been very indicative of that, So let's talk about, I'm still trying to keep this chronological.
Yeah.
But rhythmical influences and how did being Ghanaian influence your production style in comparison to the hip hop of America? Yeah,
I mean, like you say, like rhythm is so important. Like for Ghanaians, it's like how does this music move you? So percussion, sort of cadence. I just feel like West Africans or Ghanaians like sort of move to like a certain different kind of rhythm. I would say slightly different from,
Western music.
From Western music. So for me, it was like, how do I use the technology and the mindset of how music is made in the West? How do I apply it? When I say the West, I mean like, mostly hip hop music, R&B, soul music, jazz music. How do I incorporate those ideas when I'm making my music, but with the identity of a West African producer? You know what I mean? So I'm always sort of like looking for breaks in that way and seeing how to sort of make contemporary music with these elements and these, like growing up in Ghana where there's always drumming and dancing somewhere where you're going church music or some festival or traditional festivals and stuff like that. So that stuff is constantly, whether you like it or not, it's in there,
it's
and so it's like make conscious of those things and how to incorporate those things. That's really what I try and do.
It's very obvious when you listen to music. Okay, so let's stick with the chronology because there's so much to cover.
Yes,
there's so much to cover.
Yes, racing.
So we are racing through. I know. Okay, so let's go post period with Reggie in production and the beginning of yourself as an artist and collaborations and people that you work with. So what happened next?
So before I left Ghana for good, I did this. Left Ghana for good. I did an album called Republic, which was just like, all these influences as a young teenager or whatever, and I really didn't have that access to equipment, so I was using another person's studio when I had the chance, to create things. And then when I moved to London, sort of like in sort of a permanent, I wanted to come back to school and understand this a little bit, but I found it all a little bit redundant. In hindsight, perhaps I should have found something else to do in university, but it was just.
What did you study?
So I wanted to do like media studies and like music production, but at that time it wasn't really.
It wasn't what it is today.
It wasn't really, and I felt like I was getting all that education on the job anyway. I was working in quite a few studios, like and I started working on my stuff, and my whole thing, is about collaboration.
Yeah,
that really is what I thrive on, and being able to sort of be either the canvas for somebody's ideas or the other way around.
The catalyst.
Yes, the catalyst for, for developing things and taking them to like a
different level.
To a final stage, you know what I mean? And so that's what I've done throughout my career. It's always been like a lot of collaborative work, because I also understand that I can't do it all.
Yeah, of course.
I can't mix the music the way I hear it in my brain.
Yeah.
I can't sometimes play these chords the way I want to play them, and it takes too much damn time.
Yeah.
I can't, it's good to just have different people whose craft I appreciate. You know what I mean? If it works well, then it's great. So that's really what I've been doing. Where do we move on to? So we did Number 1 Mango Street.
Yes. Okay. Now this is about the period that we met. When you were just coming out with this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love this this album. There's some highlights on this album.
Yes. Juma, it was No One Knows Tomorrow.
No One Knows Tomorrow.
Which was with Asha. And that album was such a great album to make, but it's also so stressful because, and this is not in like an attempt to blow my own horn or whatever, but I sort of saw the trajectory of modern African music before it materialized. Do you see what I'm saying? And so I made an album in that sort of direction, and the world didn't know what to do with it. Like the BBC didn't know what to do with it. They saw that there was some quality in the music. They gave me platforms. I had like a nice booking agent, but they just didn't know how to present it to the world. So it was really touch and go. You know what I mean?
It's funny because I think the phrase Afrobeats probably didn't exist back then. It was still classed as world music.
It was just world music.
Which is
you know
just
what I mean?
It's bullshit.
Just like if it's not from England or America, it's like, so it was quite stressful, but I did sort of enter certain spaces. We had a really nice live band. I did a US tour, did a Europe tour, did sort of some really nice gigs here in the UK as well. And that album, was quite seminal for me, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, it was a very well produced album. There was a lot of light and shade going on.
Yes.
the big standout track, obviously, being No One Knows Tomorrow.
Yes, yeah,
and she also did her version of that.
Yes,
and it became very, very popular.
Yeah.
Now, I know at the same time as you were doing that, we're going to touch on the Fokn Bois stuff.
Yes,
yes, with our good friend Mr. One Love the Cool.
Yes. Shout out to One Love. Yeah.
So one of your big collaborative partners.
Yes.
And someone who you've done a lot of work with.
Yeah.
So I know that's taken a lot of your time as well. And
it does. It has, yeah.
Another part of your identity as an artist.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, because it was around the same time.
Yeah, it was actually. So Fokn Bois, Fokn, which stands for Fear of Knowing Nothing.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Charlie, I never knew that. I thought you guys were just taking,
just rampantly taking a mic. Yeah, we were doing that too. So One Love has been he was a high school friend of mine, was my senior in Adisado College when I went to boarding school. Mm-hmm. And Lord's been this enigmatic character who, would show up and disappear, as and when. Mm-hmm. And then when we left school, we used to, write a lot together. And when we left school, we stayed in touch. He was in the US, I was in the UK, and we would send music across. And actually, so I produced the first single of his first album, the Kokonsa song.
Yeah.
And so then we met in New York, and we were like, yeah, we should do this thing that we've always wanted to do, but let's not create just like an album, but let's tell a story. It goes like down a nostalgic path, And one thing that we connected with was the fact that growing up in Ghana, there was a lot of resistance, like just questioning the status quo and just like being a bit irreverent. Was frowned upon. So
Ghana is a very conservative country.
Yeah, more conservative than we give it credit for. It's like people come in Ghana, they're so nice, they're so free. It's like actually, you settle in there, you will see.
Yeah, they'd be very.
Yeah, now we don't do that here. We're embarrassing us. Yes. So it was sort of like a release for us. Like Fokn Bois was like saying all the things that we know people want to say but can't say because of like sort of these imposed cultural things or religious things that we've sort of self-imposed and so it was like an avenue to just let loose, you know what I mean? But and that's so Fokn Bois was really just like our alter egos of just like de-stressing, and the whole point of the way Fokn Bois worked was that it was just me and One Love just talking about things that we knew were sort of
incendiary.
Taboo. Yes. You know what I mean? To each other. Yeah. And then our fans were just like flies on the wall. We really weren't making it for them. It was just our own sort of, you therapy.
Always seem to be having a lot of fun.
Yes. That's the thing. And I think that's the only way you can actually make something super authentic when the purpose of it is not superficial. It's just like let's just release all the constipation of so to speak shit that you want to get out.
I mean, we could talk about this.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure time because let's go through some of the. I know you have an album called "Fucking With You."
Yes.
You spelled EWE.
Yes.
Then the album cover is.
It's got a lot of things going on.
Right?
Yes.
And one of the big highlights was, of course, the production of Coz of Moni, which was the world's first pidgin English musical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was again highly original.
Yes.
Great music.
Yes.
Really collaborative. All of our friends are in this.
Everyone's in it.
Everyone's in it.
Yes.
And how did you guys decide to do that?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So that's the thing. So I'm sort of telling the story all over the place. So we met up and we was like, okay, we need to make this project. We want to tell stories, So before it was just supposed to be like a sort of like just a sonic like storytelling, EP.
Yeah.
And then as we developed the story, we're like, we could put pictures to this, tell a story. And that's how it all began, And it made such an impact, because we were telling stories of our sort of peers, what it was like growing up, but with so much satire and so much, social commentary that it really struck.
resonated.
It really resonated, you know. And we had everyone who was anyone, you know,
appear in that movie,
you know. And it was such a fun experience, albeit stressful. And for me, it was like new territories, like in terms of like filmmaking and so on and so forth. You know, it took me a lot to really adjust and understand what was required of me. But it was so exciting for me, you know. And One Love is a very
very good director.
Yes,
well.
very tenacious.
I know he didn't
guy.
direct that. But he is a good director.
You know, he has a vision, and he's very learned. He's he's very ambitious and very focused. So when you work with somebody like that, you need to step up.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I always found myself having to continually educate myself to sort of and he's older than I, so he was like, so I'm a little bit like a big brother, and sort of like was learning ropes and understanding the importance of just even work ethics and things like that. So that was the interesting aspect of that. Coz of Moni just opened
a few doors.
Yes, a few doors like for film and to make more sort of expressive music and just do anything. It's possible, you know. So we did that first, and then we did Fokn Bois 2. And then we did Coz of Moni 2.
Yes.
Which was an even bigger success. At that point, I felt like I was really in my bag, you know, in terms of production, in terms of vision, in terms of visuals, in terms of like what we wanted the stories to tell and how we wanted to be seen. There had to be some sort of growth from the first, Coz of Moni.
Now, during this period of time, I know that you have started to spend some time in Hungary.
Yes.
Am I Dunaquest and Budapest? Is that kind of...
Budapest. Oh, yes, we did. Oh, yes. So oh my God, there's so many projects in between things, right?
You know what I mean, right?
So we did Dunaquest.
Dunaquest in Budapest.
Yes. And so it's funny because Duna means bomb. Like butt, like a...
In Hungarian? Or
no, in Chi or... No, in Ghana.
In
Ghana. So if you say she has a Duna, which means she has a nice backside or whatever. Yes. But across Europe, there's a river that crosses a few countries, the Duna, which and Danube. That's the Danube, right? This has like different names. So it's like in Hungary, it's called the Duna.
Sure.
So we were looking for the Duna that goes through Budapest. So it was the quest. And that album was written, produced, recorded, everything in a week.
I believe it.
While we were touring as well. But it's like we were so inspired, Shout outs to Elo Martin, Senna Dagger's partner, He really sort of...
He's a great producer.
Yeah. He really believed in us. He was also very open-minded. He would host us, house us, feed us. And then, we would tour and we would just like, just create. We sort of leave the studio, go on stage, perform, come back.
Back to it.
Drive to another city the next morning, come back and continue,
Yeah, that's great. Because, I think that, as I say, there's so much here. And I think you had you still do, but I think you had a period of immense creativity.
Yes.
For a good 10 years of just
like
constantly
putting
out stuff. So now, so we've done a little bit of early solo, we've done a little bit of Fokn Bois. Let's go to, I guess, the secondary part of solo.
Yes.
Okay, so there were some singles leading up to the second album, which is Bonzie.
Yes.
There's one single that stood out for me, which was the S.D.I single.
Yes.
Now that's with Amaarae.
Yes.
Who is now doing very, very well.
A worldwide superstar.
Worldwide superstar. Yeah. Now, how did that collaboration come about?
So, she was working with a good friend of mine, and she had always wanted to sort of do stuff with me, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, of course, I love what you're doing. But the right time we'll do something. So when I started working, started making plans for the album, I was like, okay, let me send this to her, see how she comes off it. And she absolutely blew that thing. Yeah.
It's the catchiest hook in the world.
Yeah. She smashed it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, let's do this then, And we did a remix for it as well, and with OE, shout outs to OE,
Another producer from Hungary?
Another producer from Hungary.
Very cool.
So just sort of backtrack a little bit. So I ended up living in Hungary, in Budapest for about 5 years.
I didn't know this. I
Yeah,
didn't know it was
yeah.
that long.
So after the Dunaquest, I you know,
They grabbed you.
yeah. I was like, I like this city. It reminds me of, you know, it's the pace is good for me, you know, and I was going through some sort of like some changes in my life, and I felt like I needed some time by myself to live by myself and just figure out who I am by myself.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like I say, it's like I always had like a lot of people in my space or like collaborating, and like, you know, never really lived alone, never really had my, you know. So I ended up in Budapest, my nice little apartment in the center of the city.
Nice. Yeah.
And so at that time, the EU was investing a lot of money into like the arts,
Of course,
in Central Europe, and Budapest had been like the nominated city for that.
Like the cultural city of...
There you go. Because every year they changed that. So when I was there, it was like that era. So it was like a lot of live music, a lot of bands, a lot of funding for bands as well.
Of course,
So I did so many projects. I played with so many bands. I performed so many live shows.
Yeah.
And it really, that was like my live music re-education, you know? How to really like conduct myself on stage. And shout out to Senna, who's like such a seasoned performer and vocalist and
she's amazing.
songwriter and whatnot, you know? So they sort of introduced me to a lot of like high level bands, like jazz bands, electro bands, like, you know, and, you know, being like one black guy where, you know, it's in a place where there's not many of us there, you know, I was getting a lot of access and it was a great education for me. You know, they used me and I used them back.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You know?
Usury.
Yes. Mutual usury. You know?
But that's really great. I mean, just for our audience who may not know, Senna Dagadu is half Ghanaian, half Hungarian.
Yes.
Her husband, Martin Ilo, is an amazing producer. And they are in a group called Irie Mafia.
Yes.
So people may not know that.
Yes. Now, it's one of the biggest bands.
One of the biggest bands
in Hungary. Yeah.
I'm really jealous. I never knew that.
Yeah,
I never knew you were there for 5 years.
Yeah, I was there for a while, man. Wow. I was there for a while.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. Because you remember, because I had a band there actually, which Red. Okay. Which is like an Afro electro band. Also something that was way ahead of its time. You know,
I've seen it on the
you know,
discography.
Yeah, with a lot of like we were sort of building up quite a nice reputation. Yeah. Doing a lot of like the festivals, Siget, all these sort of huge festivals, European festivals. And it was very experimental, like electronic Afro music. It could be anything, did features with Sarkodie, a few other artists and so on and so forth. So that stint was really important in my sort of education, you know.
Now, again, oh God, there's so much, dude. Because I know at some point, let's talk about the Rocket to the Moon album.
Yes.
So Damon Albarn, F.O.L.A.H from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
And
how did you get, and Manifest, of course.
Yes.
How did you get involved in this? And again, cramming things in. And we've lost the chronology.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So I was invited.
I nearly forgot about it.
Yeah, I know. It's mad, isn't it? So also there's Ritchy Pitch.
Yeah.
Don't know if you remember who Ritchy Pitch is. So DJ Ritchy Pitch was like, may he rest in peace. He passed away last year.
Okay, I didn't know.
He had a few years ago had moved to Ghana very quickly because his wife was working with the British High Commission, so he moved to Ghana. But he was like a renowned producer, hip hop producer here in the UK. And so when he went, he was like, "Oh well, I could do a project with the locals, or you know, with the local musicians and whatnot." Somebody recommended me, and then we started sort of making music together. Released an album with everyone on it, Samini, Reggie Rockstone, you name it, all the artists from then, which was released by BBE, which is also owned by a British Ghanaian record label.
It's barely breaking even, isn't it?
Yes, barely breaking even, yes. And then soon after, I did Number One Mango Street.
Yes.
And then Ritchy Pitch was asked to do the Africa Express, which is Damon Albarn's thing, where he was like, you know, collaborating with Malian musicians from West Africa. So obviously my name came up, and then I brought I think Manifest also came into that story, and you know, he blew them out. You know, he really wowed them, and
Now Erykah Badu
Yes,
appears on
Erykah
that
Badu
album.
is on that album. Yeah, so basically, first of all, we did that tour, and then afterwards they went into the studio. I kind of pulled back a little bit because I had some other things going on. But Manifest was like, he was
he's on
he had
three or
such
four tracks
he had
on there,
a great relationship with them.
Yeah.
And I, did one of the sessions with them, and we did 2 songs actually on that project.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a great, it was really lovely hanging out with F.O.L.A.H.
Yeah.
who is such a
Great guy.
a bizarre human being.
He's a great trumpet player as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's his main instrument.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's his main instrument. He's a big hip hop head as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And loves table tennis. So that's 2 things we have in
guys
common.
fighting
Yeah. So he's like, we were listening to like the new Ghostface Killer album while while playing table tennis. So that's it's such a great experience for me. And then I ended up touring with them for like 3 other Africa Express tours. Like we did a tour all the way from south of England to the north, back up, back down again. Which gave me an opportunity to meet so many musicians and you name it, because obviously Damon Albarn is connected to everyone. So there was that stint as well.
Yeah. Charlie, would you cramming
it in? Yeah. It was really, I do have this nature that sometimes works against me, where I'd much rather take the back seat and absorb everything.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like, that's my education, just the observation,
Yeah. You're an observer. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that about you because your energy is definitely one to
pull back a little bit,
have
watch.
a look and assess.
And then when things start getting a little bit competitive, it's not fun anymore for me.
But you're also very competitive.
In a very bizarre way, as long as it's like we're competing because we just want to create music or create art. But when the politics and stuff gets in, then it's just so like unattractive to me,
Mm-hmm.
And then I sort of like pull back, But yeah, I am competitive. I think so.
In a good way.
Yeah, I just like to challenge myself. I think,
Yeah, it's a good thing.
But it's not a, because some people are just like, oh, okay, you want to play this game, let's go, and then and that's how people become successful.
There's a certain mindset. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
If you don't sort of like push,
yeah.
you're gonna you're gonna get left behind. But that's just another story for another day. Where are we with this?
Okay, so period of time.
Yes.
Right. So let's go to Bonzie.
Oh,
so this is now the 2nd album.
Yeah.
And again, on this album, there are some gems.
Oh my goodness. So Bonzie came at a very weird time. We were touring extensively. We had like a really great booking agency with Fokn Bois. We were touring Europe extensively. Mm-hmm. And I, as always, once we're doing something cool, my brain is like, okay, so what's next? I can never be in the moment, So I'm just like, okay, started creating this album. And then when I was ready to release it, COVID hit. So we actually did a Kickstarter.
Right.
During COVID in February, I think 2021.
I think COVID was good for artists.
It was.
If you can create in your room by yourself, it was great.
Yes, it was. It was. For some artists, let's delve into this real quickly. I'll go back to Bonzie, but for some artists, it was a bit of ego death. It was a bit of like a moment of truth. Mm-hmm. It was a bit of like facing your reality as in like, if you're not out there performing to an audience,
what can you create?
Who are you?
Yeah.
If you're not. And, it's like as a self-employed artist or like a creative or multi-faceted, whatever it is, the reason why we do something, which I'm sure you can relate to, is like we do so many things and then we end up running away from the things that we're supposed to do.
Yes.
Because we make ourselves so super busy.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to do this. Oh, I'm mixing this. I'm doing this. And it's just like just running away from like basic housekeeping. So to speak, figuratively. So COVID forced me to just stop everything.
Yeah.
And just face the mess.
Yeah.
How'd you fix this? This is not good. Your business, whatever.
Cross your T's.
So it was really interesting for me. And then I, had to even like reevaluate like, certain things. And this is like some personal stuff, like even like sort of like the dynamics within like the Fokn Bois camp.
Sure, cool.
just fixing things, my own business, my own identity, my image, my brand, my business, my family life, relationship with my kids, and my kids' mom, and all that stuff, I had to really face those things head on.
Yeah.
So COVID was great. And then I was working extensively on the project, on Bondzie.
Yeah.
And it was like, whoa, but there's nothing out there, So I was like, okay, well, let's look to the fan base, to the audience, to raise money to finish this album.
Great.
Yeah.
And
it was one of the most tedious 2 months in my entire adult life.
Yeah. What, the fundraising? Yeah, there's some sort of admin work that is not so enjoyable.
Some?
Yeah, it's all of it. Let's face it, all of it. Yeah.
Mate, I had like 2 months of releasing content every single day for 2 months.
Yeah, to keep that social media chugging along.
Man, I never smoked so many cigarettes in my life. And I'm not even like a smoker. I'm stressed.
I forgot you smoked. I remember when I saw you at South by Southwest, you were like, give me a cigarette. And I was like, you smoke? And then you reminded me about that tour. Oh, well, we haven't even talked about the tour.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
We've been on tour together, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, that was was it a Fokn Bois tour? It was.
Big in Ghana.
Yeah, big in Ghana. And that was another experience.
Oh.
Yeah, we did some shows in Ghana.
Yes.
Around the whole country.
Yes.
It was yourself, One Love, the Afro Harmony Band.
Yes.
Yeah.
With whom I'm still making stuff.
Yeah,
with,
and Eben is in London.
Yes, Eben lives up my street.
I know you told me.
Yeah.
Actually, I have to come and see him.
Yeah, no, come through, man. Yeah, come through.
And for some reason, I was allowed to tack along on this fun little journey.
Yeah, no, but it was crucial to have you there.
It was fun, man.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. Yeah, man. So, Bondzie was, and I was at that stage in my career where I was like, how do I step up as a producer?
Yeah.
How to incorporate live music with like my usual loops and samples, and like using all these elements of music that I was getting into so much. A lot of electronic music, synthesizers, analog instrumentation, live music, all that stuff. And I was like, Bondzie is going to be the canvas for that. Yeah. And if you listen to the album,
I mean, track 2 forward. That's the track.
Yeah,
for me.
It just goes off on a trajectory.
That's production. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a technical conversation. So I'm assuming you got an MPC.
Yes.
Now with that track, I just want to know about that track, because I mean, I don't want to know about all the tracks, but that track, because I'm curious about it. You sampled some of the guitars in there, put an MPC, chopped it up,
and then played live guitar in it and chopped that up too.
Yes.
And so the sampled and the live guitar was working on that, and we had like 3 Moogs on there, like to Prophet. Shout outs to Andres Vial, who's like my co-collaborator for that album. Cool. And it's really cool the way we worked. So basically, I'll tell you how we produced the album. We packed up a whole bunch of instruments, guitars, bass, drums, everything. And then a good friend of mine, Kata, who was like a nursery school teacher, a friend I made when I was living in Budapest. She asked one of the owners of a nursery school, like an old nursery school. She asked the owner to give us the attic.
What the fuck?
So we cleared out the attic and filled it with instruments.
Right.
So we weren't allowed to come downstairs during the day because the school kids were down. It was like this sort of Montgomery sort of Montessori sort of system. So we had to stay up.
Being quiet.
Not being quiet, but just
not making noise.
Be heard, don't be seen.
Yeah.
And we were just knocking out these ideas, and like we worked through like one winter, and just knocked out all the music, and then started arranging the music at springtime, whatnot, and then COVID did its thing. So that album just allowed me to like just have all sorts of things, like have musicians come play like a loop, drummers, saxophonists, synthesizer players, everything. It was great. It was such a good experiment. There's some good music on there. And I guess in between Mango Street and Bonzie, there were lots of singles that happened. So it was nice to maybe do a full album again. Yes. It was a great transition. Yeah.
my gosh. Yes, there's so much, man.
Yeah.
Honestly. I know so much about you, but I know so little about you as well at the same time.
I see this.
You
It's
know,
good.
there's
good.
lots of things
Yeah.
that are filling gaps for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so in the chronology,
The one that we've turned upside down.
the one that we
completely.
turned upside down. Okay, I'm gonna have to reference something.
Yes.
I have to reference my thing, ho.
Yes.
Because I think I will get lost otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the recent project. So, Fear of Love and Happiness.
Yes.
And how did this come about? It's an EP. There's
Yes.
some great collaborations on there.
Yeah.
Our very good friend Kwame Oboa is a
Shout out to Kwame,
shout out to Kwame, who's everybody's favorite everything.
Yes.
When it comes to music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Yakoto is on there.
Yes.
Who is an artist that I had the privilege of seeing at South by Southwest
Yes.
when we bumped into each other again.
Yes.
And I know you've been doing a lot of production work with her.
Yes.
So let's talk about production for a little while.
Yeah. I enjoy that the most. actually.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes as much as I like to collaborate, I also feel like I can really zone in when I'm by myself.
Yes. Yeah.
And sort of like just make as many mistakes as possible until I arrive at something that might take some other musicians a few minutes to. Me, it could take me 12 hours.
Yeah, but that's
you know?
that's part of the process.
Yeah. But then I learned so much along the way, you know. So production really is my favorite part of this whole thing. And so basically another
tangent.
and yes, when we were doing Fokn Bois released an album called Afrobeats LOL.
Right. Yeah.
Which was like one of our biggest touring albums, you know. It was something that we had always wanted to do, but me as a producer, I wanted to introduce my view or my take on what Afrobeats with the S would sound like if they made me the general secretary.
Yeah, Charlie. I'd be in charge of Afrobeats.
Yes. This is how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
You know? So that's how I sort of was like, you know, I approached it all. And so by the time we had finished that album, I had so many ideas and there's so many songs in mind that I wanted to do. So actually, F.O.L.A.H, which is, the acronym is Fear of Love and Happiness, actually is that. Some of it is like, in a sense, it's like all the things that I've stopped myself from doing because I'm afraid of what the outcome would be. But if, you know what I mean? But then also it's sort of like all my relationships, personal, romantic, ones with my family, and all the self-sabotage and all the things that, you know.
It's actually a very poignant title, Fear of Love and Happiness, because I think people have fear of success, they have fear of contentment. Yeah,
it's all in there, you know what I mean? And you know, we were speaking about the album cover.
Yes, now the artwork is amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
So that sort of
and I know that you had a big hand in that. It's very, very surreal,
very
Dali-esque.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it was we couldn't come up with anything, so I sort of had to take the reins on that and be like,
I'm gonna have the artwork trotting along underneath us.
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna get my editing skills on.
Yeah, wicked. Yeah, give you something to do.
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. And so, I mean, that once again, like these are all albums that I predominantly produce myself. I didn't want to have any sort of features just for the sake of featuring, which is why I had Kwame Oboa on there. Of course, and he's featured as a bassist. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Was he playing bass on that?
Yeah, he just plays bass.
Really?
Yeah. And the guy, we had conversations. He's like, oh, just send me, let's see what we could do. And then he sent me 3 versions. And I was like, well, I like all 3 of them, so I'm just going to any, meeny, miny, moe, and choose one. And that's, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just great. I didn't want him to do anything else. He was like, oh, you can send back to me, I can fix it. But I was like, no.
Yeah.
It's as good as, you know.
Yeah.
And then Yakoto is crazy. How did that even happen? Yes, we had a studio session together. We were just getting to know each other. And we had a studio session together, and it's crazy. Every time we're in the same space, it just flows because she's the kind of artist that knows exactly what she wants.
Yeah, she seems like a very creative person in general. And it seems to really flow from her.
Yeah, and her mind is constantly just like, it's, you know, so it's perfect for me, you know?
Yeah, you guys can be ADHD together.
Oh, mate, it's great. It's great, you know? But when you couple that with like a great work ethic, you get things done.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Because you sort of... digress a little bit, and then you bring that digression back into the music. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And that song is called Kolebu No Get Bed.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's some sort of like, it's like a song about
hospitals.
Yeah, it's like it's like a heartbreak song,
right?
But it's also how heartbreaking it is.
Certain facilities in the African system.
Yes,
right.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Just as a reference, so Korle is a hospital.
Yes, it's the biggest hospital in Ghana. It's a university hospital, so it's a teaching hospital, and sometimes the conditions are quite dire.
Yes,
and so the song just talks about I'm heartbroken. I need care.
Yeah.
But please, whatever you do, don't take me to Kolebu, or don't take me to Konfanochi, don't take me to 37. And I kind of speak on what could happen to me.
Yeah.
And I say, just all I need is your care, But then she's like, oh, you think you're heartbroken? Well, you broke my heart first. And, and just like, it's just...
And it all comes back to that universal theme of love and happiness,
Yes.
You just touched upon something that I think is really important. Now, talking about your foray into social commentary.
Yes.
Especially in Ghana.
Yes.
As we both know, Ghana is a wonderful country, but that it has its ups and downs. It has its positives and negatives.
It does, like everywhere else, yes.
And in fact, even just referencing a track from Bonzie, I believe it was.
Ice But No Ice?
There's 2 tracks from Bonzie that I want to talk about. Religion in Ghana and prosperity religion in Ghana is something that has taken a mind and a life of its own. And I know that in the conservative country that Ghana is, you have been quite outspoken, as well as the work with Fokn Bois, in With One Love. And there's a great track on Bonzie called God is Ghouled.
Yes. God is good, yes. God is Ghouled. Yes.
And Question for the Gods and Healing Power. So yes. This is interesting to me.
Yeah. I mean, some of it is like a satirical sort of approach.
Yeah. But it's pointing out the obvious sometimes.
So God is Ghouled, which I mean, the saying is God is good, but sort of we've just turned this deity, this God, into like some evil ghost, who taunts and haunts us if we don't do his bidding, but in a very compatible way, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, this the fear of God. I think is turned into a whole thing,
it's the fear of God that makes us religious. It's a fear of damnation, you know. And I just don't know. And the sort of, I get scared when a religion forces you to discard or demonize your own ancestral sort of lineage or traditions or history, to adopt another person's.
Now we see this, the story in West Africa for so many countries, not just Ghana, has always obviously been one of missionaries coming in, ensconcing Christianity and Islam in the northern half of the countries onto people who have already had traditional theories and practices. And as you said, they've absconded from the traditional and gone whole in with Christianity. One of the things I find is that West African Christians are super Christians. They've taken it.
It's quite hardcore. I mean, look, some of the people I love the most are Christians, of course. And so I just really have to see them for who they truly are and sort of separate the religious thing. But if you take a good look at what the West African super Christian is, it's national, it's nationalism, nationalist.
It's gone a certain way.
It's a bit fundamentalist, some of it. I'm sorry to say,
I agree with you.
Like,
I know. I
agree with the worldviews, and it's like, are we going to use common sense, or we're just going to spew things that don't make sense in the Bible?
I always say that organized religion is the biggest weapon on this planet.
It's tough, mate. I'm fighting so many battles right now. Just this conversation is exhausting me already. And
it was interesting. We'll move on.
And it's not. And just to be clear, it's not just Christianity. It's just like just religion in a way that stops you from being a critical thinker is always problematic for me, and that's all it is. And I think we just you can have your religion and still, understand the ways of the world. So if you can apply that to just humanity,
of course.
I think that's really what's important. That's my take on it now. People are free to do whatever they want. But just don't let that blind you from seeing things for what they really are. And that's
No, I wanted to touch on that. Thank you for talking about that, because I know that's something that is touchy in Ghana, but it's important that I think it's highlighted globally that there's a wider world, there's a wider way of thinking about things. Absolutely. Yes, not the be all and end all.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to musical.
That was a nice dive.
Nice little digression. Okay, so let's get back to music. F.O.L.A.H, Fear of Love and Happiness.
Yes.
And the big single on that, Time of Your Life. Chalet, that'd be a nice song, huh?
Yeah. It really is. That song is so interesting. So I told Manifest, shout out to Manifest, that I was making this album, and he was like, okay, well, I'm going to send you some beats or whatever. He sent me 4 beats from different producers, and this was by, Time of Your Life was produced by Drumroll.
Okay.
And as soon as I heard it, I was like, don't send me any more music. That's it. We found it, And I just got to writing to it. My eldest daughter played a role, and she's like, oh, don't say this, change it to this, call it Time of Your Life, and make that the chorus, blah, blah.
That's great.
Yeah. And once the thing I find is once my kids like a song, I know it's got
something.
Yeah.
Because kids have a pure heart.
Yeah, they do. Something moves them. And then so further produced it. I had a flautist get on.
Yes. It's great flute work.
Yes.
Flute work.
Yeah, say flautist,
playing the flute.
Yes, is that what it is?
My mother's a flautist.
I see a flautist. Yes,
yes.
Who plays the flute?
Yes, a flautist who plays the flute.
Yes. Shout out to Funny. She's a classically trained flautist from Budapest who. I used to tour with her band as well, and we've sort of like, done a lot of projects together. Called her in, and we'd sort of like written the music already, so she sort of like brought her flair to it, and that's it. It was, it's a great song. I did what I could with it. I didn't want to chase, it's
got a lovely energy and feel,
I did like a nice little one take video for it, which was really creative,
It's interesting to me that you said because what I got from that, and I haven't actually really like gone into it too much, but you said that your daughter had a suggestion for it, because I kind of got the essence from that it was a conversation with one of your kids.
It very much is
saying. Hey, life is there for living.
Yeah. It very much is.
It's
right? Actually not. It's not a romantic song.
Yeah, it's a familial love.
Yeah. It is. It's more so that like just the promise of showing you a good time in this lifetime.
Yeah. That's what I got from it.
Time no day. That's really what it is. You caught it. Yeah. But I sort of have to make it a little bit ambiguous. Even the second verse also talks about. The other kind of love that the world does not want to accept. Where it's like, if a man loves another man or a woman loves another woman or whatever, it's like, they say this love does not exist. And I say, where there's love, there's God.
There is love. Yes, of course. Yeah.
So what are you saying?
Yeah, if there's happiness, there's happiness.
Yeah. And that's so basically it's not a romantic song. It's a celebration of life.
Celebration. Because I got familiar love from it very much from the first verse.
Yeah. There you go.
Nice.
I'm glad you caught it.
Charlie.
There's hope for the future now. So F.O.L.A.H is a three part project.
Yeah.
So I'm just wrapping up F.O.L.A.H 2 now.
Okay.
And it's kicking my ass, mate.
Yeah.
Because this one is like the entry.
Okay.
The second F.O.L.A.H is going to go a little bit deeper.
Deeper, harder?
Yes, in terms of like production, in terms of like subject matters, it's going to be a bit more...
bit more substance to it.
Yeah, a bit more meaty.
Yeah.
And by F.O.L.A.H 3...
Yeah, you'd be offending people.
You would not recognize me. Yes.
I look forward.
Yeah. So we're kind of going down into the
the deep depths.
Yeah. Into the cellar.
Charlie, I look forward though.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I know time is of the essence.
Yes.
I think we've covered a lot.
Have we? Yeah, we sort of like raced through this in a very...
This is going to be the quickest, quickest rapid fire podcast.
Yeah. The listeners are going to be like, what? So what happened? Where? When? And just like, yeah.
No, I'll have visual.
We didn't even get to talk about my table tennis career.
Hey, Charlie, you been playing?
Yeah, competing, mate.
Really?
Yes.
No, seriously?
Mate, I won a cup last year.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, my team won.
Really?
Yes. In my county in Kent.
Are you part of a table tennis team?
I am indeed. This is what.
You said something in a text and you said I have to train for something.
Yeah.
You're being serious?
Yeah. No, I've got a tournament tonight, mate.
You're joking.
Yes.
So how did this come about?
Once again, my older siblings. So my older brother, the one who comes before me, Nana and Ketia, he's like an ace table tennis player. He's in like one of the London teams, and he's been kicking ass across the country.
Excellent.
And I never really took it seriously. And then in recent times, like, what do I do to
keep fit?
Keep fit, and also move out of my musician artist circle. You know. Yeah. So my friends I hang out with are a bunch of doctors, physiotherapists, pharmacists, and whatnot, and we play table tennis together. That's and it's so cool. Great not having to talk about compressors and you know.
That's cool, man. That's very good. Do you know what? That's actually really cool.
It's so dope, right?
Yeah.
You know.
You just
I'm enjoying that. So if I'm not in the studio, I'm playing table tennis or I'm watching anime.
Very cool.
Or getting bugged by my children.
That's wonderful, man.
Yes, it's a good life.
Yeah.
It's a good life.
Well, I think we're going to bring this to a very natural end.
Yes.
I really look forward to hearing F.O.L.A.H 2 and
F.O.L.A.H 3.
Yes. I am going to make sure that in the information section we have a full discography and links to all of your music on Spotify.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. So if we've
got to catch up anyway.
This had to happen.
Yes,
you know?
of course.
And hopefully more things to come. And thank you for having me and all the amazing questions.
Rapid fire.
Yes.
People are going to be tired of.
She's like, don't mess with my ADHD brain. You know? We'll go here. Yeah.
My brother, thank you so much.
Thank you so big up.
Nice.